Day 2 of riding in Brown County. Today was an out and back ride following the plans of William Murphy in his Caverns and Caves tour. We're in Bedford, and William Murphy talks about Bedford. He says the trip begins in the city of Bedford, a bustling town of 14,000. Bedford was known as the limestone capital of the world. High-quality limestone from this part of Indiana appears in buildings large and small in many parts of the country, including the Pentagon, the Empire State Building, and 35 state capitol buildings across the country. So, fun history from William Murphy there. Here we are waking up in Bedford. We woke up early, but not as early as some.
I remember 2 years ago when I came here, saw all the drinking going on. I thought this rally was not really about the ride, but here it is. It's only 8:30. We just got up and out, not geared up yet. These guys are heading out, and I know they're going to be out for 10, 12, 14 hours of riding.
So we were mulling around the parking lot, drinking coffee and chatting. There was a lot of talk about a breakfast place. And this place happened to be along our route, and we were planning on going that way anyway, so we decided to head that way. I had the GPS loaded, and we had a description of what to look for on the road for the breakfast stop, and I was ready to get going. Of course, I needed to wait for Dad, which was a little unfair because there were a few other guys planning to follow us, and I don't remember who was ready and who wasn't. I'll just keep with the theme of shaming Dad for the purposes of this video. So we were leading a group. How does that happen? Well, typically at these rallies, a bunch of guys have an idea and they get together and take off. They don't really invite others. They're already buddied up. But there are usually a few guys that are kind of stragglers looking for a group to go ride with. You usually end up picking up these guys, which is a bit of a nerve-wracking thing, knowing that you're leading a group. We try to be up front with what the plan is, and that we aren't really leaders per se, but anyone's welcome to follow us. You guys usually agree and say they aren't going to be judgmental. They are up for anything, but even so, thinking about someone else having a good time or not having a good time based on decisions you make can be a little daunting. It's kind of like when your wife tells you to go ahead and pick up something for dinner. She doesn't care what you pick, but you know there's going to be some judgment there. Here we are on US 50. William Murphy talks about US 50 as a beautiful ride through countryside east of town. Sweeping curves through rolling and quite heavily forested area. As you can see, William Murphy knows what he's talking about. On down the road, the description of the breakfast place starts to come into reality, and we slow down to find this little place on the left. There, the bait sign. We found it. The Gobbler Holler. It was a small place with a small parking lot and a steep gravel driveway to get there. Looks like the locals know about this place. The parking lot was packed. We went inside and got our orders in, but I came back to the bike to get Motorcycling Across Indiana book to share some insights on the planned route with some of the guys at breakfast. So after kind of a late start this morning, we actually came to this little place that was recommended by one of the guys. And the first thing I saw on the wall was super premium dog food. And oh yeah, the directions to get here were turned by the live bait sign. But ran into some of the other guys. They're getting ready to go because they got here before us. After a good breakfast and lively discussion, we are back on the road following the plan. The first sightseeing stop along the way was the Medora covered bridge. At 434 feet long, it's the longest covered bridge still standing in the country. There's some nice roads to travel here, and it was time for a gas stop. Into Salem, we found a place to take care of that. William Murphy talks about the picturesque Salem and the town square. We enjoyed riding through it. At the gas stop, we saw some truck nuts. Truck nuts have come a long way since they were just large diameter zip-tied nuts from a huge bolt set. And now they have defined contours. I think I even saw some veins. Not sure what that says about the man. I'm not sure I'd want to find out what that guy thinks about him. At this point, Dad suggested we go check out that one road and maybe Becks Mill. That one road wasn't on my GPS, so I let him lead. Well, first, he needed to get done filling up, so we waited around a while. Then we were into the countryside and into some nice roads. We turned around a few times when Dad realized he had passed the intended road, and that made for a nice adventure. This time, I don't remember why, but he specifically passed up Becks Mill. I'm sure he didn't miss it. Probably thought we'd all been there before and wasn't sure that we wanted to stop. But at the stop sign, he realized some of us hadn't been there, so we turned around to go check it out. Some of the guys went to check it out, and some of us took an opportunity to document the bikes all lined up. Then Dad led us down some more smaller back roads along a creek before getting to the southern terminal of today's ride, the Ohio River. We made it to the Ohio River here in Mockport, and the guys are back there discussing the mods they've done to their bikes. Yeah, the main goal for today was to get to the Ohio River just to say we did. Got to admit, they all look great lined up in a row like that. And that darn tiger sticking out like a sore thumb. Just a few miles down the way, another fun attraction, the Stephenson General Store. It was hot outside, so it was nice to get inside and enjoy some AC and browse the unique items in this old general store. We left the general store and had some nice roads interrupted by a few unique road users. First, there was this hog roaster. It smelled great, but following it was making me hungry. Then in some of the twisties, we caught up to a cement truck. Now a cement truck was hauling through the twisties for a cement truck, which was nice that it wasn't crawling through, but it also meant that passing wasn't an option, and it was still a cement truck not quite going as fast as I wanted to through some of those twisties. Some more nice back roads along the Ohio River, then into a town. Time for another gas stop. Here was discussed what our route was. We were not heading straight back to the motel, but rather we were headed out exploring. Now that either scared everyone away or they were just looking to get back. I mean, it was a pretty hot, long day. So Dad and I were the only ones heading on to the next section. That was probably for the better since we found quite a bit of gravel along the way. Also, now I was following the GPS, and it was my turn to call audibles and turn around because the GPS was leading us down some sketchy paths. The next attraction was the Hindustan Falls. I've seen signs for the Hindustan Falls, but never ventured off the main path to find them. Here, we found the Hindustan Fall River and some historic signs along the way. So, a good day of riding, we got back to the hotel. Back at the hotel, the proprietor was laying out his feast that we partake in every year. Forgive the camera work, I don't capture the food very well, but here it is, Jay laying out the Indian feast. Alright, we're at the Bedford Motel, and Jay here has made us an Indian feast. I always forget what this deliciousness is, so I'm going to have him tell us. What do we got here, Jay?
Well, here is samosas there. That's triangle stuff there. Samosas, obviously this is the grilled chicken, marinated my style. This is chicken gravy, basically you grill the chicken and put it in there. This is paneer. Basically paneer is Indian cottage cheese and it's a different flavor than this one. It's an entire different sauce. Rice with cumin seeds in butter. This is called siro in an Indian language, but it's basically semolina. It's small pieces of rice in the word there, made with butter and milk, pure of the sugar.
Real
That's
sweet.
Real sweet. That's a naan. The bread basically going with the curry and everything else. And this what we call is basically munchies or fries there. You eat it without it and try that crunchiness. Like fries and chips, whatever you're gonna call it, but it goes real good with the food itself. So that's what we have there, guys.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna go get my plate and fill it up.